newcomer. What brings you to our humble mission? You have heard of our remarkable shards and gems, perhaps? Ah, a follower of the great order of the world. You are...
By Matharu, I am growing worried for Brother Fallon. The day is come and gone, and he still has not returned. Killed? Oh dear. Well, he is with Matharu now. I hesitate to ask, but did you happen to take his prayer beads? Terrible if they were left to lie there with him. Why, yes, they are. And so he is dead then? Well, he has joined Matharu. You should know we have a tradition. Rather than bury prayer beads, they are passed on to some other believer. Tell me, do you adhere to Matharu's creed? To honor and uphold the forces of order and good. Our religious mission is to see chaos and suffering laid low beneath Matharu's hammer. You have acted well and honorably thus far. It would be wrong of me to distrust you now. Matharu's children are of all types, yet they so often fail to see this truth. Do not offend your deity. I will take the beads. Have this in thanks in their stead. We mourn our brother's loss, and yet in our sorrow we acknowledge that death is part of life's pattern. A goodly sort of village, though it does not have the tranquility of Dyden Hill. Why, the great god of order, who makes the seasons to turn, life to rise from the ground, and death return to it. We have devoted our lives to this service. Yes, we have heard of the sad affliction that has struck Dyden Hill. Thus it is when nature strays from order. A lovely mission far to the south, in the depths of the Shee. It's been many years since I've been there, I'm afraid. The heart of the Feyland, some say. Fey magic is certainly at its thickest there. It may not have the luminous pomp of St. Odwig's, but then St. Hadwin was a modest apostle of Matharu. Our worship centers on our prayer beads and the practice of cutting and clarifying shards through sage crafting. Matharu guide you.
Come for our sage crafting?
Stay indoors after sundown.
It is you! I never dared hope that this day would come. Once you start to believe in the fantasy, the reality becomes too unbearable to return to. Camden has returned to me, and you have made it so. You have done the impossible, and for that, I owe you more than this meager reward. I can see a future now, where before there was only the harsh cold of a long winter. Now there is the warmth of spring. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's done? I don't know how I feel. It's like the end of a long nightmare. How can I ever thank you? I took up a collection around the mission. I lied and said it was for charity, but you understand. The others can never know. Thank you. See you soon.
Hey, you there! Halt! Don't let me.
Good evening.
Brother Fallon dead on the road. Oh, what is this town coming to? At least you have the plague shield. It will last, for a while yet at any rate. Thank you. Thank you and bless you so very, very much. If you have a need for healing, do come back. Poor dear, dead as an old stone. These days it's almost common to lose a friend. And I'll tell you he was a dear one. He'll be sorely missed here and up at the mission. Me with thorough keeping. Well, she made no friends when she first settled here. Don't know which had less sense in their noggins, her or the crafter lot. And what I'd like to know is, why didn't she see it coming? On with you, get.
War-sworn work? Good. The gold's run low and my mother's not doing so well. To the Warden's bridge it is. Aye, the one smack in the heart of Lorca. Go north of here, then east, then south along the road. It's seen its share of hardship, so I can serve in the militia and do what I can. All able bodies must serve in turn. Since Warsworn know how to fight, we're usually the first called. This humble work is an honor. Plague shield has helped. And yet when I ask the healer how long, she won't meet my eye. Farewell, Mother. I won't be long.
I've got the trembles again, my dear. They won't go away.
Kester and Cora. They're the cornerstones that hold this village.
Can I help you?
waters of the
This is their escape route. It'll have traps, but few guards. You might be able to use their defenses against them, if you're clever. I'll distract the guards at the front and make sure none of them escape. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. His army is locked in a siege in Cluricon. But small groups sometimes make their way to Erithal. I don't think they've ever been this far inland. Just go inside and find those scrying mirrors. Don't worry, I'll be coming along to help. Thanks for giving an old man another chance. It's good to know I've got a future again. And even better not to know what it is. Whoever that Aelin Shear is, I don't think she's our enemy. If she wanted us dead, she could have killed us while we were weakened. But she's still trouble. Reminds me of a dark elf who left me half naked and tied to a bar guest once. Now those were the days. The immortals inscribed their knowledge of fate into the living stone. I always thought it was a poetic way of talking about the theater. But there it is, in your hands. Keep it close, child. The mine has a main entrance and an escape tunnel. The main one is heavily guarded, and the escape is heavily trapped. I saw them bringing barguests down in cages, probably still being trained. Turn the beasts free, and I bet they cause some chaos for you. Gadflow is just some trumped-up fae who started hearing voices, I gather. But a crazy with an army is still a threat, sure enough. The Destiny Stone showed us the tapestry of fate, but your power must have consumed it all. Everything except the wisdom at its core, the Codex of Destiny. The eyes of Tirnoch are two immense Prismere mirrors. Long as the Tuatha have them trained on you, they'll find you anywhere. Strange crystal, Prismere. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. You know where you stand with a gnome. They're always so focused on their work or research or what have you, that they've got no time for lies. Shame, they try to stay out of fights. Much as we could use their help in the war, staying neutral is about the only way they can stay safe. The Crystal War, they've been calling it. 10 years ago, the Winter Fae turned violent and attacked us in force, calling themselves the Tuatha Daon. They say it's their sacred duty to cleanse the mortals from their lands. Naturally, the humans and Alpha who live here aren't so happy with that plan. It's been going back and forth for years. Where there's war, there's soldiers nervous about their fate, and that's where I come in. We'll be attacking their camp from both sides. We can't have any of them escaping to report back. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. Do you know the Summer Court in Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. Good luck. I'll see you inside. Over here, you Tuatha bastards! We're here. Not until you smash those mirrors. It'll keep... Good luck.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has she? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die. You shall learn. In time, all mortals will know the might of Gadflow. Blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch. All mortals end, even if some are more persistent than others.
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow. If you were anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You're a mortal that survived death. You exist outside of fate. The Fae do not deal well with change, and you represent a threat to whatever has driven them to this war. And as much as I hate to say it, you'll need to take Aelin Shear up on her offer of help. The Codex of Destiny should hold some answers for you. For all I know, you already met with her at the House of Ballads, but it sounds like she's the only lead now. We should be able to get out this way.
By Telogris, you surprised me. What are you doing down here? I see my Jotun have failed at their orders. But did Padaxes send you? Lysander, perhaps? Tell me. Those fools have no idea what I'm capable of, which is obvious if you're all they sent to stop me. You act as though you're surprised to find me here, as if you weren't sent here to stop me. My pursuit. But you're too late. Even now, my deathless servants rise from centuries of slumber. It is clear I cannot let you live. But answer me this, and I'll grant you a swift death. Which one sent you? Was it Padaxes or Lysander? Fine. Whether you're an agent of the Rose Court or the Onyx Tower, you can take your secret to the grave. My spell commands untold legions. Soon, both of their houses will crumble. You, however, will not live to see their ruin.
You're back. Glad to see you made it out of there alive. We felt the earth shake and when you hadn't returned. But no matter. Our town is forever in your debt. Please, take this. It's not much, after all you've done, but we would like you to have it. The healer's work is never easy, but thanks to you, she won't have to stand by and watch the sick suffer. The boggarts will always trouble Dyden Hill. As long as we can keep a supply of Plague Shield, we'll survive this malady. Disgusting little fey vermin. We're all glad to be rid of them. More ruins beneath the caverns, you say? I wonder who was there before the boggarts moved in. Well, we've weathered this storm. Pray Mitharu we weather the next. I hope that's the last I see of those brutes in Dyden Hill. Or anywhere for that matter. The town gets healthier by the day, now that those little beasts are back in their den. Dead, I'm afraid. Got the blood plague and wouldn't rest. I feel for his brother and sister. St. Hadwin's. It's north of here, through the woods. Mitharu keep you.
The boggarts have gone.
Kester and Cora. They're the cornerstones that hold the... She's the head and the heart of the craft hall. Truth is, I don't know where we'd be with Tinder Twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Passage. Fine specimens too. Have this for your trouble.
Can I help you?
Behave yourself.
You're welcome in my shop any...
Welcome, stranger.
My blood is on fire!
Welcome to our lodge. Surprised you made it out here by yourself. The She is a dangerous place. Lucas Soren, the poor soul in the next room. She did not fare so well. She was attacked by a thresh. Normally a fatal encounter in and of itself. Barely managed to make it here before passing out. That wasn't enough. She's had a rare reaction to the thresh's usually benign venom. Only thing that will save her is a rare plant found in the She. But I cannot venture out to get one. I tried, but the forest is not like the sea. I got turned around so many times it felt like the trees were dancing around me. It's just too far into the She. I could not make it. You will? Well, if you manage to bring me one, I'll reward you with what I can. I've heard that seerstalk grow near flowing, misting water, so you might try following the river north. I thought I heard the roar of waterfalls when I once wandered up there, but I didn't go far enough to find out. The She, you know. The Worms have always been traders. I took to the sea early in my life. I always knew I was going to captain my own ship. But fate has its way with you at times. After Rathir, I needed to get as far away from the sea as I could. I do miss the ocean, but I've come to realize that there are other joys in life. Gunnar showed up one day begging for help. Said he was a poor miner from Detir who lost his job when his mine shut down. Not sure I believe him, though. Hired him more out of pity than anything. I'm not sure he can actually do anything useful. She managed to tell me her name before passing out. That and a thresh had attacked her. I tried to help her as best I could, even gave her my room to recover in. But nothing has helped. I'm afraid it's only a matter of time. The great Gokkelfar city in eastern Erethel. A great port with many a profit to be found. We must have sailed in and out of there more than any other port in the continent. But war has changed Rathir. They're not as friendly as they used to be. My younger brother. After I went to sea, he couldn't wait to join me. Our parents wouldn't let him. Said he was too young. But after they died, the sea was the only place for him to go. After the trouble in Rathir, I told him he didn't have to come with me, but he insisted that families stick together. This forest has been trying to kill me ever since we got here. If it's not boggarts springing out of the bushes, it's brownies trying to take a bite out of my arse. I tell you, I much prefer the ocean. At least the things trying to eat me there are down under the water. I haven't seen one myself, but I've heard they're dangerous things. Demented trees with branches sharp as razors. Normally they're surrounded by boggarts, so if you see any of those, keep your eyes open. The thresh may not be far behind. Another time then.
Welcome. Welcome to our haven in the She. I am Citric Vorm. My brother Arhaus and I give assistance to any wayfarer that may need it. You look a lot more hearty than the sort we typically get here. You might be able to help me. We've had several visitors from Detir tell us that they were savagely ambushed by brownies. Unusual. Brownies of the She are not that aggressive. They mostly keep to themselves and only attack when approached. If there is indeed a group of brownies ambushing travelers, then those monsters need to be taken care of.
Good. I'll see that you are rewarded for your efforts. I still have trouble believing those brownies would be so aggressive. Most unusual. We lost our parents when I was young, and since then, he's always looked out for me. When he went to sea, I followed him. When he settled here, I did the same. It's a barren desert full of greedy miners and vicious bandits. Our house and I did our best to avoid it when we traveled here. I'd suggest you do the same. My brother hired him, although I don't know why. Whenever there's work to do, Gunnar seems to disappear. Our house found her outside one morning, barely alive, mumbling incoherently. From her ravings, our house figured that she'd been attacked by a thresh. Nasty creatures, those. Amazing that she made it so far after being so grievously wounded. We do allow strangers to stay here from time to time, though for a small fee. Would you like to rent a room? Well, our lodge is small, but you can use my room. It's upstairs at the end of the hall. Me? I don't have much to tell. I followed my brother to sea after our parents died. I enjoyed being on the ship. There was a solace there, but the ports, I cared little for the crowds. I know our house misses the ocean, but I love the solitude of the forest. A dangerous place, to be sure, but I find its dark depths peaceful, the solitude a welcome change over the bustling ports of Rathir. But it's not without its lighter side. Just the other day, I saw our house go sprinting by with a brownie attached firmly to his arse. I've never laughed so hard. A thresh is a vicious fey creature, a twisted spirit of the trees. You'll find them deep within the She. I steer clear of them, and I suggest you do the same. But if you find yourself up against one, set it ablaze. They make a merry bonfire. See you later.
But not like the others.
Miralem, may your wisdom grow with it.
The great.
She sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them, her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. She faced the evil maid enraged.
Come closer,
Trembled
little
with her wrath.
curiosity.
Undo your evil magic now, or I will end this tale, I vow.
The curious one seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. Look around you, and I am all that you can see. My roots spread across Dalantarth. My leaves read the winds from Frostbrine Coast to Alabastra. My family and I circle this world. We were saplings when your kind emerged from the dark, and we will grow with you until this world burns once again. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight and protect them from the corruption that spreads in their kin to the east. The gardens of fate are clear to me, and all that ever shall be are visible in its blooms. Issa's end has always been certain. Buried beneath Prismere blades, I can only hold back the tide. But you, perhaps you can change the currents. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener or a careless reaper? Yes, but will it be for the better? I cannot stop you from trying, but perhaps I can guide your efforts. A tribe of trolls has been corrupted with Prismere. Their matriarch, Nash, has united the clans in the first step on the path of Dalentarth's demise. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat, like your ally, Aelin Shear. She walks a dark and tangled path. A path you once walked together before you died. But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash, remove the taint of Prismere. Then I shall see who you are, if not who you will become. Aelin Shear is a mystery and a simplicity. She is focused in a way few Quicklings are. Her dedication is true, but I do not know the cause. Together you have walked dark paths beneath my boughs. You knew one another before your death, or thought you knew each other. Like the sun in the sky, they knew me when I was a sapling, and they will know me when I rot. But they will never know change, nor how to save themselves from their patterns. Only one Fae has ever truly changed, and he now leads an army to destroy your kind. The fates of Quicklings are very simple. Growing, consuming, expanding, dying, and always rushing predictably along your paths. You are unique among them. You decide your own direction. But does that mean you will choose anything different? The Troll Matriarch. Prismere has corrupted her, making her cruel, cunning, and far more ambitious than her brethren. She bears the marks of the Tuatha, and she shares their murderous intent. I am as world trees have ever been since the dawn of time. I watch, I understand, and I remember. To creatures of flesh like yourself, Prismere is a powerful tool to harness magic. But to creatures of pure magic, like Tuatha or trolls, Prismere is so much more. To them, it is a curse, a blessing, and a rapture all in one. It drives them and consumes them. And to the weak-willed, it corrupts them utterly. I can no longer ignore the Quicklings like your kind, who rush through the world, ever anxious, ever eager, ever evolving, but never changing. Fools who hack at my roots and burn, and sometimes sages who hang from my branches and learn. The last great Fae city, at once the birth of their dream, the throne of their great realm, and the deathbed of their kind. In thanks to High King Titarian, my boughs stand vigil over their city in their twilight. Only by my leave may visitors see them in their weakness. or keep. And watch your ally.
So, there was indeed a group of brownies attacking those on the trail to Detir. Well, here is the reward I promised for taking care of them. Still, it is strange that brownies would act in such a way. I wonder. I've heard of something that could make them act that aggressively, but it can't be here. We must go to Rundamir. It is the largest brownie den in the Shi. I'm sure we will find the answer there. Make sure you are prepared. Brownies may look weak, but they are ferocious in large numbers. After you are ready, head south. Rundamir is a Fey hollow on the edge of the Shi. I will meet you there. It is a Fey hollow on the southern edge of the Shi. The brownies that inhabit it have never been more than a nuisance, until now. You have paid to use my room. Another time.
A seerstalk! I cannot believe it! Here is your reward. You more than deserve it. I shall administer this to Luca at once. The seerstalk should make quick work of the venom. Farewell. Hello.
Thank you, stranger. Our house tells me if it were not for you, I would not have recovered. I am not accustomed to such injury. Usually I am more than capable of taking care of myself. I have no desire to encounter that thresh again. Do not make that claim lightly, for a thresh is not something so easily overcome. In truth, I would walk easier through the Shi knowing the thresh has been removed. Please reconsider, for though I wish to see an end put to this creature, I would not risk your life or that of any other. If you are determined to defeat it, I will tell you where I encountered it. But go with care, for I have no desire to send you to your death. The thresh attacked me in the eastern Shi, south of the river. I would not have survived if he had not found me. He's been very kind to me while I recover. I still feel weak, but I am better, thanks to you and our house. I came to the Shi in search of my father, who has been missing for some time. I thought he might be here, for he is obsessed with the Fey hollows of Dalantarth. Our house was kind enough to offer lodging while I searched. He is a most interesting Varani. A quiet sort, but if you can get him to speak, he has a disarming sense of humor. He defers to our house when within the lodge, but it's Citric who takes the lead should they venture into the Shi. There was a time when all of Dalantarth was as the Shi is now. Primordial, ancient, knowing. It is a place of Fey magic, both wild and immortal. Tread carefully in its depths. Nature, for all her beauty, can be cruel. You have not seen much of the world if you know not of the travelers. Entertainers, gypsies, thieves. They go where they want, when they want, and more often than not, take what they want along the way. I hear they are always open to recruiting new blood, so if you have a talent, perhaps you should introduce yourself. You shall not find a more malevolent Fae. I had hoped to avoid them while I traversed the Shi. I fled as soon as I saw the thresh. I did not flee fast enough. Later then.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? She's made a remarkable recovery. I knew she was a fighter. I don't know what her business in the Shi is, but I'm hoping she might stay a while longer. Safe travels.
Good. You made it. It is as I feared. A Croddock has made its lair at the bottom of this hollow. We will need to find it and kill it. The Croddock is sending the brownies of Rundemir out to collect corpses for it to feed on. That is the reason they've been ambushing wayfarers in the Shee. We must find it and destroy it. Croddock are vile beasts, which feast on the flesh of the dead. For some reason, brownies flock to them, eager to act as soldiers, often bringing back kills so the Croddock can feast. Be wary of Croddock. Their spit is deadly. Hard to believe she came so close to death now that she's recovered so quickly. Our house has been showing her around the lodge and talking her ears off about his days as a sea captain. Funny, I've never seen our house act like that around anyone before. Be careful. The teeth of a brownie. How can I help? Be careful. The teeth of a brownie can leave a hideous scar. It is done. With the Craddock dead, the brownies should cease their ambushes and the trail to Detir will be safe again. Thank you for your help. I would not have been able to defeat the monster on my own. Goodbye.
Greetings.
You are a force to be reckoned with. It's not easy to defeat such a vicious monster. Please, take this reward. My heart will no longer be filled with dread when I venture into the She. Farewell.
Good day.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? Farewell.
thought I'd find you here. If you were anyone else, I'd say it was destiny. But in this case, it was that damned tree. He's got roots and branches all through this forest. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. The Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkwolfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Neuralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash. Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never built dens this deep. What are the two Arthur doing here? If these trolls ever went on a rampage, they could destroy half of Dalentarth. Looks like the Tuatha have been working here for a long time. If they've come this far inland, we're all in grave danger. Prismir, what have the Tuatha done to her? Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Obviously, the Tuatha have bigger plans than just killing you. Infusing the trolls with Prismir, trying to bring the war to Dalentar? Niralim was right to be concerned. Aren't I always? But have patience. For now, why not take comfort in knowing that you saved Niralim and his forest? Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll allow you into Issa. I'll stay here and finish off any remaining Tuatha. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right.
You have completed the task that the Hierophant set out for you, as all travelers are expected to. Well done. What I invite you to join is not a fraternity, not a guild. It is a family, a race, a bastion for those of like mind and talents. All travelers are now your kin, and you theirs. Now, the Hierophant is called for you to serve again. The seer demands, so you must answer. The next task is unique. It involves stealing from one of my kind, Amalur, Lord of the Hunt, fallen member of the Court of Summer. This is what I can tell you of the task. Pray at the Hierophant Shrine and receive their blessed wisdom. I know of him. He is the Lord of the Chase, a member of the Court of Summer once, a fae of some import. But his title is a thing of artifice, nothing more. We shall show him and the Summer Court that such pomp is meaningless. Good luck.
Well, you've got a lively bit of swagger about you, traveller. Fancy on helping me with a bit of work? It's keys I need, Burke. Prison keys. The travellers are getting locked up in record numbers. I'm not one to sit around with my mouth agape. Getting these keys could save a traveller from the noose, but to get them, you'll need to get to jail yourself. Talk's one thing, Burke. You bring me those keys, and then I'll know that you decided to do it. Pleasant travels, Burke.
So, you've come to me again, Shade. So competent you were in your last mission that I've prepared another for you. You will steal Buru's boots from Amalur, Lord of the Hunt, once member of the Court of Summer. They are ancient things, a rare item to be so treasured among the Fae. Though their enchantments work only for the Fae, they are still highly prized. There has not been word of the Lord of the Hunt for some time. When I scry for him, I only see portents of his herald, Ergaze. The road to the boots lies through her. You must seek her out in the She and learn where to find Amalur in the boots.